It's just a raw. It's 4 p.m. I'm heat stroke. The only thing I've eaten is 52 ounces of flat Diet Coke, a granola bar, and raw chicken. And I come home, back to the office, stumble in, and Chad's like, "Yeah, I knew that salt was crap."
Hello and welcome back to Cash Me Outside. I'm Caden here with Christian and Chad, and let me just start off by saying Christian is defeated today. He's pretty down.
Well, technically Christian was defeated on Friday or Saturday. Was it Saturday? And you said I'm done.
Yeah,
that's true. He came out of retirement this weekend.
That was when I started.
And then the heat stroked me.
What?
Christian, so long story short, I'll let Christian say it, but he texted us last week and said, "I'm done. I can't do this anymore. It's too taxing. I'm too frustrated." And then this morning he sends a video with a bunch of screenshots and says, "I'm going hiking right now. Do you guys want to come?" And Chad and I were working and we couldn't join him, but he went hiking today.
I'm pretty sure Caden didn't watch the video or look at a single message
That's not true.
Tonight until I walked him through it, but it's cool.
No, I didn't watch the video, but I did read the thing and I saw the picture of the tunnel. I read your messages.
Yeah, I'm if there was a night I was going to turn to the drink, it would be tonight.
That's what you were saying on Discord. I saw that.
Yeah, what do you start with? What's your first alcohol? Should I do whiskey? Bourbon?
I don't know that that's a first. I think you start with just beer.
Nah, I think I want something harder.
No?
Listen.
I want a tequila cocktail.
What's scotch? Is scotch like
That's a tape.
And if you're feeling extra low, you get it double-sided.
I feel like scotch is very, very high class.
Yeah, I don't hear a lot of people like rolling into bars because I'm
ordering
at
a
bars
scotch
all the time, and I'm hearing like, "Yeah, give me a double scotch on the rocks."
Is there a double scotch?
I don't know. I feel like there is in Jump Rope.
That's hop. Double hop scotch.
Okay.
The great thing about the three of us is that we almost represent every portion of the treasure hunting community, whereas Christian's the guy who gets
way too
consumed by it. And I'm the one that's like lurking, waiting for someone to say something.
Just kind of eating popcorn in the bushes, just like, okay, what's going to happen?
Well, I mean, eating popcorn, that might be a little bit more of a description of Caden.
Well, Caden is just like, oh, there's treasure hunt. Yeah.
Right.
No, I think about it a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's
but
good.
I don't. It's just hard to sit down and I get really frustrated. I love doing riddles. I do crosswords because it's something that I can.
There's like an end.
There's an actual solve. This, it's like I can come up with something. And it could be 5 feet away from the treasure. It could be 20 miles, and I have no way of knowing. And that's what's frustrating.
We don't have a system. I feel like Christian has a system, like places he starts logically, and it exists in his brain. Other people have sheets and stuff like that. I need sheets. I need something to look at and like organization. And I've tried a couple times to like put all of the lines in a sheet and then all the clues they've released to create one place where I can look at everything. But I've never completed that. But it'd probably be a good idea if we...
I use Google Sheets. I like it. I'm a man on the streets, but a freak in the spreadsheets. You know what I mean?
But yeah, that's what's hard is that I sit down and I've tried and I try and piece things together, but it's like I have no way of knowing if this is right until I get out on the trail. And even then I could be right there and just miss it. And so I don't know. I do enjoy talking about it, but as far as like coming down and actually spending hours and hours and hours on it, it's hard for me to get excited about that because I just know my chances of finding the right answer are so small.
Yeah. We're just not as strong as you, Christian.
No, you guys are stronger because you have the you have willpower and self-control, and I have neither of those.
Christian said one of his meetings fell through today, so he could go hiking, but he just
I'm
didn't
literally
go.
so behind at work. My job is hanging by a thread, and I'm just like, I'll spend the whole day just looking through bushes.
You left, and Claire looks over to me, and she's like, "Where's Christian?" I was like, I think he would.
I'm searching for treasure. Like, the gold fever is a real thing. I don't really care too much about the money, but I hate
the riddle.
I get consumed by just problems I want to solve. I want to figure it out. I want to get the answer.
You know who you're like?
Yeah.
Dr. House. He doesn't care about the patients. He cares about the puzzles.
That's true. I love Dr. House. He's cool. Hugh Laurie. Anyways, so I got super excited. Probably the most excited I've been about a solve maybe ever. And I feel like we've had quite a few solves I've gotten excited about. And I don't think other people are as excited about me as it, and that's okay. I think part of
I have things to say about it.
Yeah.
It was a good solve.
It was
That's what I say. It lines up, and that is the good thing about it. I just had, like I always do, certain criticisms.
And I think there's a degree of humility that you need to achieve that helps you to receive the criticism and take it and not be like, okay, what's better? And I think that's my problem is when you don't like my solve, I'm just like, okay, well then give me something better. Like if you don't have anything better, you can't criticize me.
You do that, and you know what that's going to do to me because you know I don't have anything.
Chad
better.
and I almost came to blows before this podcast started.
I was pretty mad. I don't like that retort.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything better, and you know I don't.
That's like when you're in sports when they say scoreboard, right? You're just like,
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Anyways, what do you want to talk about first?
Should we go through like the business items?
Yeah.
So first of all, can one of you pull up the reviews I sent?
Yeah, I got it.
So everyone has been actually awesome. We've gotten a pretty big influx of reviews. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Yeah, it's been great. I love it. Thank you for the support.
A couple of kind of funny ones came on Apple Podcasts where we need reviews that I kind of just wanted to talk about.
Do you want me to read?
Yeah,
read these. So the first one, 5 stars. Thank you from Football Fan 3. Great as a podcast, clueless as treasure hunters. He says, these guys are great. I laugh. I appreciate their time and efforts into creating it. But when they explain their solves, I have to wonder about them sometimes. I'll still continue to listen, though.
The thing that I don't really get about that one. So, first of all,
Christian's just hanging his head in shame as the only one who brings solves to this podcast.
It's basically just a direct criticism on me.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and I'm going to defend you because some of the solves we receive or see on Reddit, like your worst, is generally very solid solves, Christian. So I don't really understand that criticism, but I mean we accept it.
I mean, every solve is terrible if it's not.
Yeah, if it
doesn't
right
bring
solve.
you to the treasure.
And also, that's 100%. And it's all subjective, right?
Yeah.
And so I totally get it.
100%.
If our solves aren't your cup of tea, I get it. We'll keep solving them. We'll keep throwing them out there.
Yeah, what I think people, I need to remember this, is that we are most likely going to hear the correct solve after this hunt is over and be disappointed by half of it.
For sure.
I think we're not going to be like, wow, that was super clever. I think half of it we're going to be like, okay, that's kind of maybe not dumb. I don't want to criticize John and Dave,
but it's not
we're not going to be like
their fault too.
Yeah, it's not.
It's there's no definitive like way that you can grade solves of being like, oh, this is better and this is best. Like
exactly.
It's such a subjective.
It's so
thing.
subjective, and it's just like when John and Dave were here, they were saying, oh, we've gotten solves. Like they have a back pocket full of solves that people have given them in the past that they might use in the future because they're like, this is awesome. We never would have thought of this. And so that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, it's thousands of minds versus 2.
Right.
Yeah, if you look at some of the last solves, this is how it is. It's, I don't know about percentages, but I think a small portion of it are solutions that you are kind of like, okay, I accept that, but that's like not crazy. That's not super clever. Fine, I'm okay with that. 20%. The last 20% are solves that are like, I never would have thought of that. That is so complicated.
Two less on top of the first.
Two less on top of the first. The circle on the monument.
Yeah.
Things that you just wouldn't have thought of. That's going to be your reaction. 20% and 20%. And then the other 40% is like, that's super clever. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so
And
whenever
what's the last 20%?
10%.
Did I not say 20, 20, and 40?
That's 80%.
Oh.
You know, we get these reviews where he's like, I listen to these guys talk. I wonder about them sometimes.
Oh, no, dude. I'm an idiot.
It's okay.
20, 20, and 60. Okay, that's what.
There we go.
Oh, can we edit that?
No.
You edit so much of your stuff.
No.
Give me a Chad said something dumb here.
No, we're going to let that stand.
Say Chadley said something
We'll
dumb
review
here.
it,
That's funny.
and I'll take it before the committee, and I'll let you know. When
People
it goes,
would love it.
When it goes live, you'll know if it was edited out or not.
Okay.
Okay, so when we had another review, we did get a couple good ones, but we're just pointing out the ones where they're like, yeah. This one gave us 4 out of 5 stars. They said, fun and entertaining. They give off a real Utah Valley Tech Bros vibe, but it's pretty entertaining. LOL, good insight into the Utah treasure hunts, and other historical treasure episodes are fun to listen to also.
Which is like overall very, very kind. I like it. And actually so spot on. Utah Tech Bros vibe. We are recording, or Utah Valley, right?
Yeah.
Utah Valley. We are recording from a tech company in Utah Valley.
Yeah.
Have we said that before?
And I would go as far to say we're bros.
Yeah.
You guys are my bros.
I do
Yeah.
wonder what about us.
Yeah,
What about our
what gives
mannerisms?
off the bro vibe?
The bro.
Do you imagine us wearing like flat brim hats and talking
Well,
about our commish?
You know that. I mean, you saw that one comment on Reddit that said, "Oh, I imagined you were more nerdy." So some people are imagining me as a nerd,
And some people imagine us more as bros.
as bros.
And the answer is probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we've got a caricature artist out there in the crowd,
I
we would
actually-
love to commission you.
I would really like to see
What
that.
we look like. That's fun.
Based on
Okay.
this episode.
But anyways, I just like that one because it was all nice things. 4 to 5 stars. So the ding we got was
What do we
gave up that Utah County
Yeah.
Tech Bro vibe.
Was that why we didn't get that last star?
Probably.
It's okay though.
We need
We're
to
not-
scale back
We're
the
not
bro.
trying to like throw make fun of people who don't like us because we get it. I don't like us too.
On that note, we have another thing.
Mm-hmm.
We got a video submitted to us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And by submitted to us, I mean sent to us via message.
Yeah.
It disappeared before.
It's a good breakdown.
He filmed it.
It disappeared.
And sent
It
to us.
disappeared before you guys could watch
I
it.
couldn't watch it. I wanted to see it.
Which, yeah, I didn't know it was going to disappear.
I didn't know you could send disappearing videos.
Yeah,
Honestly, that changes
It's
the
a game
game.
changer.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
That girl you keep butt dialing is going to...
oh yeah, sorry. What's her name? There's been a girl that I've Instagram called like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah,
From the
and
cash
she's just
outside?
heard conversations of me just in my back pocket. You know, like, and it's the same one every single time. So
That
she
is
is
so
like,
funny.
this is creepy. I'm sorry. I'll find her name and apologize.
Anyway, so I'm the only one who saw this video. What it said essentially was he really likes our podcast, but the last episode went off the rails a little bit, and he just has some constructive feedback for us.
Too much bath talk.
Okay.
There's
All right.
we did talk about bathing for 10 minutes.
What do you want? Okay. What do you want from us?
He was asking for more critical thinking. That's what
I
he
was
wanted.
giving very critical thinking breakdown about bathing. I feel like you can't get that level of
That's actually
analysis of
true.
bathing really anywhere.
Yeah.
Go. What's your favorite bathing podcast? Because I guarantee I'm doing it better than them.
I think I mean, I don't know that we've ever received feedback like this, like, hey, stop bantering and just do more.
We've gotten the too much banter stuff before.
Have we?
Yeah.
That's-
We're in the midst of it.
yeah. People
We're
are
doing it
I can
now.
hear the keyboards going right now.
I mean, yeah, give us more feedback. We honestly don't know what people think about
Give
us.
us real criticism in 2 days. Tomorrow, just lift my spirits. I just need nice things tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll work on my criticism during this episode. You've heard my criticisms.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I
It's
get it.
nothing but good vibes from
I
here on out.
understand. I understand. Today I hit a wall, a mental, physical, spiritual, emotional wall. That
And then as he tumbled down the mountain when he fell,
I fell down the mountain. I got so sunburned. My body is so red.
Wait.
Can I tell you about I won't get into this all right now.
You talk about
but
the fall.
I drive up to frickin' Lagoon, I hike the steepest mountain I've ever hiked. I am wearing my just normal workday clothes. I'm wearing like Kizik's jeans and a button-up.
You need to get some Amazon
and
hiking
I'm
boots.
risking it all up this mountain. And everything's just lining up perfectly. And I'm just getting so excited. And it's 104 degrees, but I can't. I got that treasure fever. I'm just going crazy. Everything's measuring perfectly. Everything's going great. I can't even feel the sun. I just feel my heart beating in my chest. And I get to the spot where the very best view, and I measure down to where it's supposed to be, and it's 330 meters, and it's just perfect. And I have just hours to kill, so I'm just going and digging through every single bush. I'm doing unspeakable things to the wilderness. I'm just joking.
He was getting real excited.
I was very respectful of the wilderness, but I basically deflowered it.
Oh my God.
And by that, I mean I just pulled up some flowers. Just joking. I didn't do anything with flowers, but I searched high and low. And
wait, did you have a specific spot off the trail?
Yes,
you
it's
had a
perfect.
specific spot,
Well,
and then you were like, okay, now we're gonna.
Like I found the very place.
You started
with
Found the very best view.
and then I went like 30 to 50 feet all around, just every nook and cranny, getting my hands in there, and couldn't find it. Fell down the mountain on the way down. Ran out of water. Heat exhaustion was taking me. I was seeing literally mirages of Dave and John laughing at me.
Are you in the? Never mind.
Yeah, I stumbled in my car. Get in. Turn the car on. The temperature inside says 113 degrees.
Oh my!
I go, and up until that point, I'd only eat. This is 3 in the afternoon. I'd only eaten a granola bar at that point. So I'm just thinking, I just need fluids. I go, I get the biggest Diet Coke that was ever purchased.
Oh my gosh.
I
That's so
drink
nice,
it.
though.
It's straight flat. It's the
Oh,
worst Diet Coke I've ever
gross.
had, but I'm just famished. So I'm just sucking that Coke. And then I go, you know what? I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go to Popeyes. I go to Popeyes. I get their new chicken sandwich. I take my first bite. I'm like, well, that's pretty good. Take my second bite. That tastes a little funny. Go to take my third bite. The entire chicken is raw.
Christian's
It's just a raw. It's 4 in the afternoon. I have heat stroke. The only thing I've eaten is 52 ounces of flat Diet Coke, a granola bar, and raw chicken. And I come home, back to the office, stumble in, and Chad's like, "Yeah, I knew that salt was crap."
Oh,
So yeah, I've gone through it today. Okay?
I feel really bad now. That's really
Screw
funny.
you, John. Screw you, Dave. I'm done with this treasure hunt.
No, he's not done. He needs 24
No,
hours.
he'll bounce back.
Yeah,
He
I'll be
needs a
back here.
little bit
Just
of
give him a
rehab.
bath and a
Yeah,
and a
guys,
pep talk.
You need a
And
bath.
and
We're doing
enough
the podcast a little earlier tonight than usual.
Yeah.
So you'll have time for a bath when you get home.
Okay, thank you.
That's good stuff, actually.
Oh yeah, I found this metal. This got me real excited about this.
What is it?
What
oh,
is
it's a
that?
bullet.
It's a
I found it in the mountain.
it's a bullet.
Yeah.
Wait, why were you excited
I don't know.
about
I
that?
thought it was metal.
Wow, you were delirious up there.
But I found a bullet. So what'd you do today?
That's good. So we'll get to his solve, and we will talk about that. I'm interested to hear about your fall down the mountain, how that happened, and
Well,
the
I was
severity
wearing
of it.
Kizik's, and I had maybe half a bottle of water at that point. So yeah, I stumbled.
What about? Okay, do you want to next topic? If we're good to move on,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
do you want to talk about the historian that I
Yeah,
had a battle
Chad
with?
picked a fight with a historian
So-
this week.
His name Jacob Barlow, by the way.
Yeah, the Jacob F. Barlow. And this guy is like Utah Historian 101. He's like the Bill Nye of Utah history. He's got jacobbarlow.com. He's writing full-page blog posts about every single historical site in Utah.
Yeah, you follow his Instagram account. He's posting videos and stories about.
I've got him bookmarked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like all up in his site all the time. It's
Well-
the number one resource.
To be clear, after this little spat me and him had on Facebook, and it wasn't a spat. It
No,
was
no.
very good natured. It was a funny situation.
I've been in his site way before. I know who Jacob Barlow is. You don't know who Jacob Barlow is.
You already knew who
Yes,
Jacob Barlow
I've
was?
been on his site a ton. All of my research.
Oh, really?
I'm in Jacob Barlow. Yeah.
You're what?
I'm all up in that site. And I'm intimate with that site for sure. And then Chad, he gets on Facebook and just, chooses.
No.
This will be the day I'll engage with people on social media.
Okay.
Goes to Facebook with some.
No, stop.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell my side of the story.
Yeah.
Okay. I had suggested beforehand we post a map of the boundaries with the Dominguez Escalante Trail going over it. Okay. What happened before I posted that, Christian? Do you remember when I sidled up to you while you were working?
Yeah, you said they went through Spanish Fork, right? I said, yeah. He's like, okay, I'll just draw a squiggly line. People won't fact check me. I'll have this little squiggly line going through Spanish Fork and be like, yep, that's where they went.
Fortunately, Kate, listen, I had a source. I put that source in the image, and I overlaid that source map over a map of Spanish Fork, and I got it basically as close as possible to the source map that I was going off of. So when people criticize the accuracy of that line I drew, they're criticizing the accuracy of the source I used. So that
it's like dumbass.com. Just joking.
It was chadzollinger.com.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyways, what was I going to say? I post that on Facebook. I posted it everywhere.
It's a good resource. It was smart. People liked it.
Yeah. Anyways, Jacob, I get this comment on Facebook on it, and it says, I don't think that's actually very close in my opinion. And I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm just going to clap back just a little bit. I said, I challenge you to a map off. And he said, I've been waiting my whole life for this. And then some other guy jumps in. He's like, is this the Jacob Barlow that like wrote Utah history? And at that point, I was like, oh, shit.
What have I done?
What did I do?
Did I just challenge Anthony Edwards to one-on-one?
Yeah. It was
the Anthony Edwards of Utah history blogging.
I come back. I come to Facebook that afternoon, and I see these notifications, and all I see is like, okay, Chad has number 1 created some BS map. Number 2, put it on Facebook and tagged us as Cash Me Inside.
No, I didn't tag us. Yeah, I called it Cash Me Inside. This is a good joke because I was inside when I made the map.
It's great.
I said, yeah.
It's incredible. Okay, and then number 3, picked a fight with the premier Utah historian, challenged him to a map off, like challenge his integrity of a historian. But it actually ended up pretty funny. You guys ended tight.
It was always pretty lighthearted and making more of it than it actually was. I mean, people were suggesting that he come on the podcast and we do fake historians versus real historians. And when I say people, I mean me. That's what I said.
That actually would be hilarious.
Anyways,
he's a listener of the pod now. So Jacob, Mr.
Thanks,
Barlow,
Jacob. Welcome.
we
You're not going to get any. You're not going to learn anything from this.
Yeah. You won't be finding any critical thinking here.
I want him to be like our fact checker. That would just message every time like, that's not true.
Ooh, that would be good.
That's good. Yeah.
And then we could
like
insert
official fact
Jacob
checker.
says that's false.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right after Christian says.
I like that actually. That's kind
Mr.
of
Barlow would then have to pre-screen all of our episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Anyways.
That's funny.
Was there anything else? Did I forget something?
It was pre-eventful little week here.
We do. Do we want to talk about the
email we got.
BWA?
Oh, I got into a pun war with someone on Discord.
Oh, do tell.
Harley Lynn Quinn. I can't get her name right.
Harlan Quinn.
Yeah,
I know
Harlan
exactly
Quinn,
who you're
thank
talking
you.
about.
We got into a pun war. It was really fun.
Who won?
Didn't we talk about
I got
this
the
last
bread
episode?
of her for sure.
No.
No?
This is the first I've heard of this.
It was a pretty funny pun war.
It was a pastry. That was the theme. Was a pastry pun war. And let's just say I ended it by saying,
Oh, no.
if you want to get into another pun battle with me, chala at your boy. So yeah, I think I won.
I don't know what challah is.
Oh,
It's a type of bread.
Is it good?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
Okay.
That
Anyways,
is pretty
one more piece of correspondence we received just today. The email
the
From-
email.
with the heading Bachelors with Alopecia Contribution Receipt number 55486. That's the heading. Do you want to describe what the
I don't have it pulled up. Can you walk me through it?
he just says, on behalf of the BWA Foundation, which stands for Bachelors with Alopecia, we thank you for your generous contribution. And it's just basically a joke that we had contributed to that charity.
Oh yeah.
And there's a receipt attached, but you can't open the receipt.
Are we getting flished?
I don't know, but I've tried to
don't think I
open
did
it
that.
in many ways, so I have just
So he's
exposed
got
myself.
you hook, line, and sinker. So I tried opening it too. It didn't work.
He also sent a 1-minute recording of a podcast that it sounds like he's planning or maybe he's just joking about called the Never Say Die podcast. I don't know if we can play that.
Is he going to be our competitor?
Did you try looking it up? Does it exist?
I looked it up. He's done a podcast before. I think it's him. He's done a podcast before, and it wasn't called Never Say Die. It was like professional development podcast. It was just something back in 2021. I think it's this guy. So I did some more sleuthing on this guy than I've done during the treasure hunt.
He really got his elbows dirty.
No, he knows. He knows because I looked at his profile on LinkedIn, and I was like, well, I guess
That's funny.
I guess he knows now. Anyways,
very well done. Very inventive.
yeah. Do we
funny.
want to play that?
Yeah, I can probably pull the audio. Let's roll the clip.
That was great. Thank you. Yeah, we just
It was
plugged
actually
that
a good
in
clip.
post. Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Okay.
It's actually solid.
I think the moral of the story is if you are a scammer, if you send us an attachment, we will open it. And we will go to any means to open it.
I downloaded apps.
Try us. Really.
It just didn't work, so we didn't get whatever joke was inside of that.
Yeah.
Or hack.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I think that's it. Do we want to go to your solve? Christian?
Yeah, let's get to the
You
solve.
wanna get
It's a great
to-
solve.
get
I'm
to the
super
solve?
excited about it. Let's talk about it more. Okay, so if you... I feel drunk right now, but we're going to go ahead. I got so excited about the solve. I thought it was so good. It's obviously not right, or maybe I just suck at finding treasure.
Guys,
it's in a bush somewhere.
let's just pause right there. Christian has taken a beating. All positive vibes from here on out. Okay, if you have something to say, see yourself to the trash can if it's bad
Yeah.
stuff.
Chad
if it's
and
criticisms.
Chad and I almost came to blows before this podcast, and we're like making up with each other on the pod, on live pod, and it's actually working.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of nice.
Okay. So, shortcut where the choir sings. Go ahead and pull up your own computers, everyone at home listening around the hearth. Go ahead. I'm so dehydrated. So go ahead and look up Church Street in Layton. If you look in Church Street in Layton, it is a cross-sectional road. It connects I-15 to Highway 193. All the other roads, kind of like in most cities, are going north and south, east and west, but this is like a diagonal road. That is our shortcut. That is our direct path. If you go down to kind of the bottom closer to where it intersects with I-15 on Church Street, it near the intersection of Golden Avenue and Church Street. A church used to be right near this intersection. It was a cathedral, a Spanish cathedral. She was a showgirl. She did. Okay. And so obviously I like this. I like Church Street. It's where the choir sings. It was called Church Street because of this cathedral that was located on that intersects with Golden Avenue. It works really well for that first line. However, the church is no longer located there. I think there was some accident or a fire. I don't know what happened, but it got relocated. And it's now on Chapel Street, which is just a little bit south. So if you go to Chapel Park, and just a little bit west of Chapel Park is St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church. So this works really well with the first couple lines. We found the shortcut where the choir sings as that cross-sectional road, the church, and then you have to find the place it was named after, which is no longer on Church Street, but the church that it was on that caused it to be called the Church Street is the St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church. All right, if you go there, and you check this out, you're going to find this steeple casting a very distinct shadow, and it's a triangle shadow. You can kind of even see the cross at the top. Now, I know this is a little bit debatable, but in this scenario, I am flipping the shadow. Chad, I am flipping the shadow. I am turning it upside down and going the opposite way. So go ahead and use your measure distance tool to measure from the tip. This is so bad. To measure from the edge of the shadow. Okay?
If
and
it's bigger than...
You're going to follow that shadow as if that tip has been flipped. And it's going to go quite a bit south. And you are going to, on that line, go to the point where it first intersects with a trail. And you'll see it's quite a bit south. I have it first intersecting with a trail just east of Lagoon at a trailhead called Flag Rock Trailhead. So you can check that out next. And go ahead, if you go back to look at your measurement, if you go back and look at the cathedral, you're going to see Yes, this is right in line with where the shadow would be pointing if it flipped. Okay? Now go back and look at your measured distance. You're going to notice that the exact distance from the middle of the cathedral to this trailhead is 6.39 miles.
Which is incredible.
It is very incredible, and I want to say I didn't do it that way. I just literally grabbed it and found the first trail that intersected with it.
And it happened
and
to
it
be
measured,
6.39.
and it just literally happened to be 639.
So
Which
explain
is
for
incredible.
if anyone's lost. 639
Is a popular song that goes 639.
It's actually 369, right?
I don't know.
369.
369.
So, if you were born in the 90s or 80s, you got that joke. Okay. So yeah, the 639 is on the poker table. Those are the cards laid out on
From
the
the
poker
clue
table.
last week,
From
yeah.
the clue last week.
Could we pause right here because I have a question about this specifically?
Yes.
Opinions.
Okay.
So they said that the shadow gives you a general direction.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean the reason that they went to the lengths to say general direction? Does that mean if it's exact, then it is not the trail?
Well,
Why would they say
this
that?
is like, I don't know. It's hard to get an exact measurement
That's true.
from a reflected shadow.
Right.
So I do think you're supposed to follow it as best you can, but they're not going to be like fact checked by someone who's like, actually, the degrees are
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm okay with this part of it. I just wonder, like, why would they go to the lengths of saying general?
Yeah.
Is it how far off? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell. To me, it looks generally like it's going exactly on that road.
Yeah.
I missed out on telling you some of my most exciting stuff. So that cathedral, that Spanish cathedral, the Saint Rose de Lima. Now, we know that this needs to correlate with Dominguez and Escalante.
This is my favorite part of the solve.
Me too.
Yeah.
And because I literally just went, oh, that's an interesting church name. I'm going to Google St. Rose de Lima, Escalante Dominguez. And it pulls up exactly their journal. And in Escalante and Dominguez's journal, they talk about how they discover and name a river that's called Santa Rosa de Lima River. And in their journal, they literally say, we set off on our journey from Santa de la Rosa de Lima, which is exactly what we're doing here. So we found the reference to Escalante and Dominguez, and we've started our measurement from here.
That's where their journey began?
In this part of the...
Is there any Cortez in this solve?
The Cortez is just going to be the age which he arrived, which is 33.
I think everyone's kind of gone away
Everyone's
from
over,
Cortez
yeah.
as a large theme of the solve. Instead,
Sure.
it just means the age at which you arrived.
When I first saw this, I got excited because I was like, oh, Lima, Peru. The Mayans. Cortez conquered the Mayans. I was like, no, that's the Aztecs, you idiot. Okay. And then here's another fun thing. Do you guys want to know the address of this chapel? Of this
Please,
cathedral?
yes.
Oh, it's 210 Chapel Street. 210. 2 tens. 2 jacks.
Okay. I didn't know where you're going with that. I didn't know that. I like that.
Okay.
That's good. Last week you said jacks were 11s, but
No, they're 10s. I don't know
I
what
think
I
he
was
said
thinking.
10s, didn't he?
I thought I said 10s.
you
He said
said
10s.
you said 11s. I think.
Oh, well, I meant to say 10s because
Okay.
there's no, in like poker or blackjack, it's the same thing. It's all the face cards are 10 and then the aces
no,
can be
right,
11.
I know. Yeah.
No, but do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
So you're playing 21 if you just have a face card and an ace.
I understand.
Because aces can also be ones. This is good stuff.
This is good critical thinking. Good
Okay.
job, guys.
So we have found the shortcut where the choir sings. It's the church that which it's named after has been relocated. We found that church. It's named in Escalante and Dominguez's journal. That's a Spanish cathedral. It's located on 210 Chapel Street. Its shadow is casting a present shadow, and it's going general direction towards where you're supposed to go. That measurement is exactly the measurement or the numbers listed on the poker table. This trailhead right here has a parking lot, which is important because we know this has to have a parking lot because John and Dave accidentally let that slip on our podcast. Then you go up this trailhead. Now, where you're actually headed is you want to get to the Patsy Mine trailhead. So you got to go up these couple switchbacks right here that's just in this neighborhood, kind of like where you get on the trail. And then you're going to get up to the top. Now, this is my lobster and ice cream line.
Sorry, back up.
Yeah.
What's the trailhead called? The original one?
The Flag Rock trailhead.
Are you measuring from Flag Rock or from Patsy Mine?
Patsy's Mine.
Okay.
So you go up this little bit, and the reason Oh, and also the little D, from the poem, to be clear. The little D, Chad looked up at me like I was talking to him. So the little D is distance in this case, because this is where you measure from that distance. Anyways, okay. And it still works because you're still in your car at this point, right? So my lobster and ice cream. I don't love the lobster. I kind of love the ice cream. The lobster, for me, is just the Bonneville Shoreline Trail, which I know a lot of people have talked about. Like, oh, there was kind of like these lobsters in like Bonneville back in the day, and it just says, did we eat lobsters in the past? So the lake that used to be here, did we have lobsters there? You know, like, okay, it kind of works.
Yeah.
The problem with the Bonneville Shoreline Trail is it's just like the longest trail in the history of the world. And so like it just intersects everywhere.
Right.
But what's important about this is there's a point where you go up this little switchback to where Patsy's Mine Trail and the Bonneville Shoreline Trail meet. That's the intersect point.
Sorry. If we assume that the first half of your solve is correct, this could be where you were off.
Exactly. I could have started my measurement wrong. I could have gone down the wrong trailhead.
Because you do start the measurement on the trailhead, which is where they say this is where it identifies as the correct trail. Then you have the ice cream, then you have the lobster, and then the hint 3, you start your measurement when it says Cuando Velvis Amarar. That was so bad.
It was. Wow.
That was
Sounded good to me.
when you turn to look at the morning. So you might be in the right spot, but you might have started your measurement early and you needed to go up to where you turn to look at the morning. Did you do that?
So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because for me, you go up, you get to this intersect point where there's 3 trails converging on each other: Flag Rock, Patsy's Mine, Bonneville Shoreline Trail. So what it's trying to tell you is you can still solve this from your car, by the way, by just looking at a map and figuring, oh, these are where that needs to go. But here at the trail, you can go forward. There's a little forward arrow on the sign, or you can go right. And so you're choosing to go forward, which is the Patsy Mine.
So that's what you were.
That's my go forward. And also the reason the sunrise, this is good, not amazing. If you're looking at a map, the road that is just south, that is going away from you at this point, is called Sunset Drive. And so at this point of the trail, you're turning away from Sunset Drive, and you're going the opposite way of Sunset Drive, which is
sunset,
which is sunrise.
Yeah. So when you
the
see
opposite
this,
of a sunset is a sunrise.
So it's the opposite of what we want, right? It should be Sunrise Drive.
No, because we're looking away. We're going the opposite way of the sunset.
Okay.
So we're looking at the sunrise, because technically the sunrise would be east, which is blocked by the mountains, right? So it's kind of always been a little bit weird to me. But this works well with this road, because you're actually going the opposite way of this road, which is Sunset
Road.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. So where I'm measuring the Patsy's Mine, which is the ice cream line, which I like. Okay, so we all talk about Lighthouse Lounge, because that's where they're at when Chunk says, I smell ice cream, right? So where do you smell ice cream? At the Lighthouse Lounge, people understand, in the Goonies, that's where they discover the secret rock tunnel that leads to the area where they're going for the grotto for the treasure. So I love this as being related to a mine. And if you look up Patsy's Mine, it's like this beautiful big rock tunnel that you could walk through that actually looks pretty similar to the rock tunnel that the Goonies kids went through in the Lighthouse Lounge that they discovered when at the point where he's talking about I smell ice cream. So I love the mine connection here for the ice cream line. And just like in the Goonies, how that rock tunnel gets sealed, Patsy's Mine just a couple of years ago got sealed. And it's very similar in that way. So that's where I'm saying, okay, as far as which trail you're supposed to take, it's going to be Patsy's Mine.
Pretty good.
Okay. All right.
So I have nothing to say about that.
This is where things got crazy. Okay. So
if you're still with us,
get to where you fell off the cliff.
So to me, this is the go forward and still turning away from the eastward of the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And going forward. So this is where I started my measurement, is at this intersect point with these trailheads. Okay. And I didn't measure to a specific spot there, because I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be 180. I don't know if it's 330. Basically, I'm going to go on this trail, and I'm going to look for a spot where the very best view is, and then I'm going to measure from there back to that trailhead spot. I am not joking you. If anyone here wants to go on this hike, you'll know exactly. You're going to go up a bunch of switchbacks, going up kind of steep. Then you're going to get very clearly to a spot that's flat where there's a clearing, where there's a bunch of rocks, and there's a big giant bench, and it's this beautiful view of the whole valley. It's very clearly like the best view, without a question. I go and I sit on that bench, and I think I'm going to pass out. And I grab my phone, and my hands shaking, sweat dripping off my brow.
Because you think you're within the
best
vicinity.
view, and I go to my phone, and I do a measurement going from literally exactly that intersect point of the trails to where I'm sitting on that bench.
You didn't measure before?
No.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, it could be 18, it could be 33, and I'm just going to keep hiking.
We're
If I
still
stop,
that's probably our iffiest solution, right? We don't know if it's 33 or 9.
That's totally
18.
fair. Yeah, exactly. I get to that spot, and I measure how far it is to the beginning of the trail, and it's exactly 340 meters.
Which is
33 plus 1.
That's pretty good.
It's exactly. Like it was I think it was 339.8 from where I was sitting. So that's where I'm like, oh baby, let's go. Let's find us some Trevor, son. And
I hated
I
that.
actually think I said that out loud.
Were your
And
brothers with you at this?
Not a single person to be seen in the whole world.
Nobody.
No,
Wow.
not anyone on this trail. Nothing.
Did your brothers go with you?
Yeah, my brothers went with me.
Okay.
I went with my brothers, and they lifted and supported me quite literally.
Were you injured?
No, I just stumbled around.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are just searching all of the bushes. All of them. Not a single bush left untouched. Okay. And the crevices as well.
He touched the crevices, the bushes.
And you know what? Honestly, I probably spent a little bit too long in the crevices. I probably should have spent more time in the bushes. But it was like a perfect place to hide something. There's these big boulders everywhere. There's scrub oak everywhere. The scrub oak all has like the leaves that have fallen.
So are your brothers? I didn't know your brothers were with you. Are
Yeah,
they just pumped right now?
I told my brothers this, and they were instantly converted. Their hearts were changed, and they followed me like the most zealous followers you've ever believed in. I was like, Chad and Kane, you're dead to me. My brothers were like, we're here. We believe in you. And they just championed it up the entire time.
Which is, it's fantastic.
They got so excited.
Good to hear.
Oh, we were just so enthusiastic and just searched for hours. And maybe a third-degree burn in my body. I can't tell you.
How long did it take to get to the point where you went off the trail?
Oh, really good question. 60 minutes.
Oh, that long. Wow.
Well,
Really? It took an hour to get up to that point?
yeah. I mean,
That sucks.
I'm able-bodied, but I'm not a magician. Okay.
I don't know what point you're making.
Yeah. So we just searched forever, and I just felt so good about it, and found bullets and stuff, and it could still be up there. So many things lined up.
Yeah.
Like
Shut
just
up about the bullet.
the measurements all lined up. The Dominguez, the Escalante, the 340 meters, everything from the trailhead, all the things, the way the poem was broken up is like where to start things, where to look things. And I came home empty-handed and brokenhearted.
You got some raw chicken though.
Yeah, and yeah.
So
I don't want to get. We're good.
Okay,
I'm
yeah, we don't
fine.
have to talk
I'm doing
about it.
fine. I'm not bleeding. I'm
Yeah,
just
you look
really
great.
hot and dehydrated and a little bit pissy.
all right. So what was I gonna say? Oh shoot.
Well, thanks for going out there. It was fun for us to live vicariously through you.
Yeah.
And hear that story. Sorry we weren't with you on the
it's-
trail today.
So good.
Do you want to hear myself
Yeah.
and why
Yes.
and how stupid it was?
Huh?
Christian is
I perked
so
up.
happy.
Perked up right there.
So right after,
I hate it.
actually in the moment.
Just joking.
I mean, this is actually what happened. In the moment that you gave up last Saturday and you said, "I'm done, guys," I was actually
that gave
beginning
you
to
your
get into
second
the
win?
treasure hunt.
Yeah.
So what myself was based off of, I was going pretty literally to the first 4 lines are the county, and that's all I was worried about. It felt like with this new clue, this last email, that they were doing it very like zoom in. as you get deeper into the poem, which they do in general, but they zoomed out further than they've ever done.
Yeah.
So I zoomed out to like state level. I was looking at other states, looking if there's like any shadow features, which doesn't super make sense.
That's in New Mexico. I'm like,
Yeah.
where are you, Shadow?
No.
Going back to Utah.
What my solve was I looked at the spot where Cortez landed in Mexico, which is, I think it's called Champoton, which you're going to have, I mean, people are probably rolling their eyes already because this means that it was not correct, is that I'm looking this far outside the boundaries, because all the clues are in the boundaries. Where did they say that, by the way? On the podcast?
One of the first hints they gave out was that all of the clues take place.
Which I obviously completely forgot about. Anyways, so I drew a line between where Cortez landed and then the chapel where they said the Dominguez and Escalante expedition began, which is just outside of Santa Fe. And I knew that was going in the direction of Utah. I was just like, okay, let's see if I just keep this line going where it ends up. It ended up in Summit County over Summit Park near Summit Trailhead, or like Summit Park Trailhead. So while that doesn't follow the logic of their clues very much, it did get me to the county, and I was actually kind of getting excited. And then that's when you sent a message. You said, "Guys, I'm done." I was like, "Wait, just hear myself real quick." And I sent it, and you're like, "I actually really like that." If any of those clues were inside the boundaries, I was like, "Oh shit!"
I love Chad's like, "Oh, Christian's gonna give up." Before you leave, let me tell you this amazing idea I have.
And I immediately turned off my computer. I was like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm not trying this anymore."
I actually think that's a crazy coincidence, though.
It gave me insight into your position as the chief solver, because there's a lot to take a lot to take into account.
It's a lonely road that we walk.
Do we have any other topics around solutions, solves that we want to go over right now? Because I do have a few other things I need to bring up before we do that.
No.
Or after we do that.
Go for it.
I am a barren idea wasteland.
Did you guys see that John and Dave put the poll in the last email?
Yeah, finally. Thank you. I'm happy that they're doing that. Let's make this a sustainable treasure hunt. We don't want this to be something that goes away. So let's find a way to crowdsource this.
Yeah. So for everyone that hadn't seen it, I think like 180 people when I looked at it had voted on the poll. So I don't know how many people even saw it. It was after all the hits.
I think more people voted on our hat poll. In fact, I know they did.
How many did we get?
We got a couple hundred. I think 300 or 400.
Okay. Yeah. Which we should probably talk about as well.
Yeah.
But that poll, if you guys haven't gone and done it, go do that, because I think it's a great idea. Deeper, or like after you answer the first question, it asked questions like, what would be a sufficient value? No, it'd be like, what would be of sufficient value to justify paying monthly for a Patreon?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that? Like, what I think they had suggested, like
mini hunts, right?
Mini hunts during it.
Yeah, I would gladly.
I think a lot of people would just pay it.
My number I'd probably do would be like $3 a month.
I think they did. I think they were thinking 5.
Yeah,
it shows tiers under there.
And I'm just saying, like 3 is like the point where I'm just like, it's 3. I mean, it's nothing. Like,
and
5 is fine too. I just would have to get rid of my Paramount Plus membership.
You have a Paramount Plus?
I don't know. I just try to make up something. I think that's a streaming platform. Actually, I know we do, because Paw Patrol, baby.
Paw Patrol is so good.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
He sounds like a real Rocky.
Sounds like a real Rocky, you said?
Yeah, okay, Humdinger.
I don't know what
There's 10 people that will get these references, but they will love it.
I forgot what I was going to say. You'd spend that money, though, not expecting really anything in return?
Yeah.
I just want...
Yeah.
What would you suggest, though, of value?
I think the mini hunts would be awesome.
Mini hunts is amazing.
What else?
I'd be cool to do some sort of meetup.
Christian,
every
hear me out on this.
Mm-hmm.
We release the episodes where you are uncensored for everyone that joins their Patreon, because we want to continue. It's mutually beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
So we could offer that as a value to the Patreon. People want to hear your sketchiness.
I would feel pressure to be edgy in the episodes, and then it wouldn't be natural. Because I want it to come naturally. What?
I don't know how much of it.
What do you mean? What? Your smile after you said that.
I don't know that there's enough of demand for that.
Yeah, I don't think there's people really like, ooh, let's hear Christian's dirty jokes.
Okay, it's a barely of a it's a
I'm
tiny
worried
little
about my
value.
children listening to this in 10 years. Anyways,
Well,
and
those
so-
children aren't going to be paying for the Patreon. There's an age limit.
That's a good point.
Cash me outside after dark.
Keep talking.
Yeah, after dark. That's what we'll call it.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, wanted to talk about that briefly.
We could, I mean, this is self-serving, but we could release some clues on the Cash Me Outside podcast.
Ooh.
We could release clues.
I
I
don't
love
know.
in this.
That's what we're
Patreon,
trying
we
to
just
do.
Benefit from it.
That's what we're doing.
I
I
could
know.
read a couple chapters of a little bit of my spicy Harry Potter fan fiction.
Wait. You should write it just for
in
that.
Gorgio.
Oh no, I'm gonna pass this.
This is so dumb. That's just one of the chapters.
The hand wave, dude. Oh man,
Oh.
that's really funny.
Okay.
You should do that.
I don't know. I don't have any other suggestions though for the. I think
Yeah.
most people would just do it just to be
Just to
supportive.
support the
Yeah,
hunt.
I don't think they're expecting.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing with the mini hunts though is they'd have to spend money to do those.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I mean they'd have to make more on the
But they can make that less like cash heavy and just more like
more
like
fun.
Yeah, like a cool medal or something you'd win, or just something more
Or a
private.
bullet.
A bullet. Yeah.
Hey, we've heard about the bullet a
Yeah.
lot, so keep that in mind.
And then the last thing, should we talk about the hats at all?
Sure.
Did we between us three, we haven't discussed the results because I think we were disgusted by the result.
Why?
Because Caden's hat won.
That's not disgusting. That's amazing.
I
Of
know,
course,
no, it's-
Caden's hat won.
No, they were all amazing. Claire did an awesome job.
No, they're all awesome.
I was just.
I don't think the fact that mine won was
I
an
had-
indictment on yours. I think it's just.
I had 2 submissions and they both took last place.
So thank you for voting. The hats we're not trying to make any money from at all. Hopefully, Cash Me Outside, regardless of how you feel about the podcast, is a fun little like phrase that if you just like being outdoors, is you like geocaching or something like that, you could find to be interesting. So
Yeah, it would be fun to see someone wearing a Cash Me Outside hat in the wild and
Yeah.
be like, "Hey,
yeah, we're like half doing it a little bit of for like pride, and we think it's awesome and merchandise, and we appreciate the way that the following, like how much is growing. But also just like if you want a really cool hand embroidered hat, Claire does an amazing job. We're not making any money for them. We're just going to sell them at cost. It takes her about an hour and a half to do each one. She's going to sell them for $30. So I think we'll give a little more instructions, but I think what's going to work out is you just tell us. We'll probably do 2 of the models or 2 of the types, and then you tell us which one you want, and your address, and then you can Venmo her directly, and then we'll make sure that that's delivered to you within like a couple weeks. So, but we'll talk through it more and give some more instructions on Instagram. But like I said, no pressure. But it'd be fun if it's something you're interested in. We'd love obviously to share that with you.
yeah."
I thought of one more Patreon idea.
Ooh, do tell.
It's my bathing guide. It's called Soaking with Christian. Okay.
I think we should. I do think we should dedicate a few minutes every episode to bathing talk.
Okay.
I need to up my bathing game. I don't
Have
use
you
Epsom
ever
salt.
bathed with a candle with the lights off?
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. See, the way
Here's
that
the
you
thing.
talked about it last
What I
time was that you were
normally do-
against that.
Okay, I've been very experimental with baths. I don't think there's probably anyone in the valley who's experimented more in the bathtub than I have. Okay, so don't worry about that. I'm just saying my 9 to 5 type bath.
9 to 5.
No, like my ham and cheese bath. Just like the normal standard bath where I
would
eat a
like
ham
to
and cheese
hear-
sandwich.
I would like to hear about the special baths.
The special baths, when we were ready to hear about the special baths, I'll tell you about it. But no, we don't need any more bath talk. Everyone, thank you so much. Thanks for putting up with this episode. As you can tell, the longer this treasure hunt goes, the more just out of control these episodes get. And if this goes another week or 2, I can't even tell you what's going to
I
happen.
think this was a great episode. I think people are going to love it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we are. I mean, I'm anxious to see where it is, how the solve works out. I really want to sing our parody song, so we're
ready for it.
We're
to
ready.
end.
We're ready. So
Here's the thing. I think next week, if it's not found by next week, we're releasing the parody song regardless.
Should we just
It's
start
next
the
week or
parody
whatever.
song now?
Like, sing it right now?
Look, I'll edit this episode. You start working on the lyrics and the idea behind
I
it.
want to incorporate elements of the actual solve into it. That's the
100%.
problem.
You're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
Yeah, it's
That's
got to be
true.
everyone. I just don't want you to move on the treasure hunt. If you can just get the solve and then hold on for 2 more days for a really cool parody song, that would be great.
Oh man, that's really funny.
But yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun to see. Hopefully we get to interview the finder, the winner.
Here's what we're gonna do, real quick. Our parody song. Can I just tell them what it is?
Yes, please.
It's gonna be One Trail More, a parody of One Day More from Les Miserables.
Heard of it?
Am I very excited to do a lot of the parts, especially multiple female parts? Yes. Have I dreamed of playing Eponine? No, just joking. Okay. So, if you have an idea for a great lyric as a substitution that we can use in the song One Trail More, please send it to us, and the very best one we will use in the parody song.
Ooh, that's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do I have a part?
You do, and it's a surprise part. I'm very excited.
I'm not excited. Is this going to be videoed?
We'll talk about it.
Well,
Yeah.
we're doing a music video for it.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to be very low production.
Yep,
Like the last
Value.
one. Actually, the last one is impressive. I was surprised you popped that out so quickly.
that's what she said.
The last
See,
one.
jokes like that. You subscribe for $3 a month. You don't want to miss a single joke on. It's pretty bad.
I think we could get a couple dollars.
Okay,
Anyways,
One Trail More. Let us know what you got.
Cool. Well, is that it? Anything else? Any final thoughts, parting words before we adjourn for another week?
I think that's it.
Someone find the bloody treasure.
We're ready. We're ready. Cool. Well, thank you, everyone, and we will catch you on the next one outside.